I'm back with another album review. Today I'm taking a little break from reviewing the material from Deftones, focus on something that's rather obscure. Rather than talk about another Deftones album, today I'm going to be talking about Palms. Palms was a supergroup fronted by Chino Moreno with four members of a band called ISIS, which is not to be confused with the terrorist group. The band consisted of lead singer / rhythm guitarist Chino Moreno, lead guitarist Brian Clifford Mayer, bassist Jeff Cacksides, and drummer Aaron Harris. They also had Chuck Doom from Team Sleep on keyboards when they were on tour. However, Chuck didn't play keyboards in the studio. Instead, that was handled by Bryant. The supergroup started in 2011, which was a year after the band ISIS had disbanded. Brian, Jeff, and Aaron wanted to continue making music, and Chino joined in as the band's lead singer since he was a long-time fan of the band ISIS. This resulted in the formation of a new supergroup called Palms. From what I read is that Brian, Jeff, and Aaron wanted to stay away from the compositional methods of their previous band and go in a different direction. Now, I'm going to be honest and say that I have never actually heard any of the music from ISIS, but I might check their music out at some point. In the meantime, I'm going to be focusing on Palm's self-titled debut album. This is the one and only album that they made. It's self-produced, and the mixing was handled entirely by Aaron Harris. Aaron also recorded the drum tracks at Joe Baresi's House of Compression studio, and Chino recorded his vocals at Aaron's home studio. I'm not sure exactly when the recording took place, but I believe it took place in 2012. The album was originally going to be released in 2012, but was pushed back to June 25th, 2013. The album was released under Apricot Recordings, which is an independent label founded in '99 by Mike Patton and Greg Workman. It's actually the same label that released some of the music from the band ISIS. This album is mainly centered around post-metal and alternative rock, but there are also elements of post-rock, shoegazing, and dream pop, very similar to Deftones. This album has only 6 songs on it, but the runtime is 47 minutes because the songs are very long. None of these songs were released as singles. We're going to talk about them one at a time. This album starts with Future Warrior. So it's the very first song from Palms that I heard, and I thought it sounded phenomenal. Rather than sounding like Deftones, it sounds much more atmospheric than the material from Deftones. There was a music video that was made for this song that was directed by John Manzanetti. It was released in September of 2013. I'm going to post a link to it in the description. The song is very long at 7 minutes and 56 seconds in length, and sets the overall tone for the album. Up next is Patagonia, which is actually my favorite song from this album. The song isn't as long as the previous song, but still pretty long. In fact, it's 6 minutes and 40 seconds in length. Up next is Mission Sunset, which is the longest song on this album at 9 minutes and 57 seconds long. In fact, the song is comparable to those from Tool when it comes to the song length. It's still an amazing song overall. There's also a music video that was made for this song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. That's followed up by Shortwave Radio. The song is also very long at 6 minutes and 56 seconds in length. I followed that up with Tropics, which is actually the shortest song on this album with a runtime of 5 minutes and 44 seconds. In fact, this is the only song on this album with a runtime of less than 6 minutes. It's also the most popular song from this album according to iTunes. This album ends with Antarctic Handshake, this is actually the second longest song since it's 9 minutes and 41 seconds long. One thing I need to mention is that the Japanese version and the cassette versions of this album have a bonus track, which is a demo of Shortwave Radio. As you can see, it's not on this version of the album. Hell, it's not even on iTunes or Google Play. I read online that this album debuted at number 55 on the Billboard 200, so it wasn't very successful. I guess that's the downside of this album coming from an independent label. As for the reviews, this album was received very well from critics. In fact, it has a 74 on Metacritic. As for my opinion on it, I really enjoy this album. The songs have a very similar tone to Deftones, albeit more atmospheric. The songs themselves are comparable to those from Tool in terms of song length. I highly recommend this album, especially if you're a Deftones fan like myself. As for Palms themselves, they haven't really done anything in years. Their website has been inactive since 2014. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages are also inactive. This leads me to assume that they're not together anymore, which kind of sucks because I like this album. The fact that Palms are so underrated is why I tend to call them Chino Moreno's forgotten side project, as you can see in the title. I'm hoping that one day Palms will get back together to make some new music. If they decide to make an album that consists entirely of covers, I'll still get a hold of it. Now is the part where I question you. Have you listened to the debut album from Palms? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? Do you think Palms should get back together to make some new music? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to notify future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another review, since I have something special planned for it.